to Spoken Fire channel, this is kind of a rare occurrence where we will be introducing a D&D episode. In the future, they will mostly just be posted, and the introduction kind of happens themselves. Once again, this is a work in progress, and we've kind of been just going with it. So, just a heads up, the first 3 episodes, including this one, are just audio. So if you just want to like listen to it like as if it was a podcast or something like that, that's totally fine. After those first 3 episodes, we will be getting into, we'll actually be filming, and it will be formatted, and the formatting will continue to get better as the series goes on. I think it was episode 5, we started doing a summary recap introduction at the beginning of every episode to kind of catch everyone up, and so it is a work in progress. Please bear with us. I hope by episode 10 we kind of have a system down. We've currently filmed,
hopefully,
at the time of this recording, we have filmed 7 episodes. So we've grown a lot already.
I think it was number 5 where I started.
Yeah, and I think as players we've grown, and so now we're starting to get hold of it. So the first couple of episodes, please bear with us. They're real rough, but it's still interesting, and once you kind of get through the introduction stuff, it really gets a lot better. The other thing I want to mention is this first episode, we actually didn't audio record the entire session. We only audio recorded like the second half, because Jacob realized that he probably should record it, and then he started recording partway through. So we're going to try to briefly recap, describe a little bit of some of the talking points in a casual fashion on what happened in the first episode, and then we will include the second half of this video will be the actual audio clip. The next 2 are more whole. We actually recorded the entire episode, and then after that we started filming and got full shots and everything. Once again, we're still working with it, so some of the cameras aren't filming all the time, but we're trying our best. And with that, we're going to kind of turn it over to both of us, and we're going to describe the characters and kind of how the campaign started. So I'll let you describe the city a little bit.
Alright, so players find themselves in a city called Calendar Defensival. It's in the southern tip of the Iberian Peninsula. It is a port city, but it is surrounded on the north side in sort of a rainbow configuration by just a lot of agriculture and livestock. That's the word for like cows and pigs and animals and
livestock.
Things? So it has a lot of different industries it can pull from to serve the northern regions that it often supplies, with the different villages and cities along the highways going north. So it is, in a way, the heart, and then all the highways are kind of the arteries going through the country. I think I started you guys at the gates.
Yeah, we started at the gates. I'm playing Talon, a brewer, a nature cleric who is a brewer. And I came to the city with a cart and a mule named Ghost, and several, 4 barrels of ingredients and stuff. While I was there, I also saw 2 other companions, or not companions at this point, but 2 other travelers, Amari, who, I guess describe Amari.
It's mightily convenient how you make them all see each other at the gates.
Yeah, DM.
Yes. There are certain tropes you just cannot ever get away from. Yes, so Amari is a fighter. She fights with 2 swords. She has long silver hair and a opaque lavender eye. Both her eyes.
Both of her eyes are colored.
Why did I say eye? I don't know why I said eye. And she has on chainmail. She has seen a lot, and her mentor has passed away. She's a bit of a nomadic, a nomadic breed, if you will.
Yeah. And then the other person that we saw at the gate was, well, I guess all three of us saw each other at the gate, but didn't really interact, was a Goliath who was 6'5" and bald.
Well, to be fair, most Goliaths are bald.
Yeah, but without
Except for the women.
without tattoos and I'm my character Talon is 5'11" and Amari is 6'2", so I'm the shortest out of the three of us. And I got stopped at the gate for extra long because Brewers I had a bunch of stuff and they wanted to question me more. As the campaign kind of went on, we all didn't
describe Jacob. You want to describe his character?
Oh yeah, go into more details about Jacob.
So Jacob's character's name is Vala. He is he actually has a lot more names than that, but we'll just say Vala for now, until he decides to reveal elements of his backstory. He is a Goliath Ranger. He's from the more mountainous region, up in the northeast of the world. Goliaths they look reminiscent of giants. They are actually giant kin, and they are often enslaved by giants because giants don't have to go as far to get them. Also, they can lift and carry more. They're a little more, not fortuitous, that's fortitude. How do you say that? I don't know. They have more fortitude. Fortuitous is fortune, though.
But I've said fortitude.
Fortitudious?
No, I'm just not going to try.
Whatever. So he's come down on a personal quest for honor and glory. They have entered the city, and yet another trope. The guards at the gate all refer them to the same tavern.
So, there we briefly glimpsed each other at the Tubby Duckling, which is a two-story building. The top story is slightly slanted towards the street and is held up by two, not as large as they should be, beams that are ground into the street, partially by the weight and partially because they put them in the street to hold it up. And there we met William. We did not know his name at the time, but the owner and person who ran the area, and we all kind of started to get, like, we got glimpses of each other, but we all are playing kind of loner characters in a way, and so we didn't really interact all that much. So for the most part, we all kind of went along our own ways. I went to go get a job across the street at a brewing company where I was hired on, and I didn't work there that night, but I did find a job there. Where I ran into an old
fling.
An old enemy named Calliope. She's an elf with long hair.
It's kind of funny how I call her an old fling, and he calls her an enemy, and yet who's actually right?
We're playing different characters.
I play everyone, though.
I know, but your view on her is different from my character's view on her. Anyway, and the other thing that is Amari stopped at a bakery, Janice's Bakery, on her way to the tavern.
Met a nice Irish lady.
Yes.
She got a really, really quality large loaf of bread.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think what other things happened in that first episode that
you all met William and Rafe.
Yes. William
and Rafe. That probably just sounded like a jumble of letters.
William
and Rafe. You guys were visually introduced to Vala's drinking habits.
Yes.
That was entertaining.
Vala drinks a lot.
He does. It's very entertaining. In recent episodes, he has reached the threshold where Constitution saving throws have become a thing, to not just be annihilated. And they all kind of came down into the central area of the tavern. Can't remember if it was that night or the next day that the ship had come in. It was the next day, wasn't it? The ship had come in and all the sailors were there, and then they gambled.
Yes.
I
believe the audio clip includes the gambling scene.
Right. That was just really entertaining.
Yes. For the most part, it was just the first episode was mostly just introducing the characters and kind of describing them and leading us all to the same place where we all were staying at the same place. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of the funny jokes on audio about the terrible condition that the Tubby Duckling is in, with creaking stairs and possibly almost broken stairs and crappy food.
Apparently, my squeaky stair noises sound like kittens.
I think that was a later episode though.
Was it?
I think so.
I thought it was number 1.
That reference was a little bit later.
Oh gosh.
And so
I don't know if I'm that bad at sound effects.
I don't know. So the first episode was mostly just introducing ourselves, and I guess that's kind of the end. So now we will be playing the audio clip for the rest of the episode. So enjoy.
Shows you where kind of he lines up where he wants him. Now, if you've got any questions, I'll just be back at the bar. All right. And he goes in, and he goes in. And he leaves you to your task.
Cool. I go up to my room and I stow my stuff.
Carefully.
And
Gotcha.
I take off my armor. This isn't a job that requires that, so
Gotcha.
yeah. Then I hop to it.
All right. You were
Carefully,
told. Carefully, don't break anything.
I don't go running through
skip
the
and
halls.
a jump, and then the whole building.
I kind of like, as I go up the stairs, I test every single one.
Right. Just like patting the chair.
If one squeaks a little bit, I reach down with a rock or something I got in my pack, and I just scratch that one so I don't skip that one.
The barman kind of like leans over and like sees you going up this way. I was like, something wrong.
Not yet. She just
All right.
keeps going.
He goes back to what he was doing. So you went south through the city. You pass a. You as the man with the cart passed through the gates, you heard the name Iron Fist Brewing. That kind of perked your ear a little bit, and as you pass through,
Obviously.
as you pass through the south of the city, outside the wall, you see just a big fist that looks to be made of iron. Pass by it, follow directions, head left, go around the corner, and like they said, 7 buildings down from the corner. He gave you specific directions. Seven buildings down from the corner, you see a sturdier squatter. It's a little bit bigger, and it is made all of stone, which is not a normal thing around here. Most of it's made of wood, and or a little bit of like a little bit of stone if they can find it. But this one is completely made of stone. It's got iron bars in the windows, and outside there's just a big board with nails through it, and you see old pieces of paper that have like faded, and you see four or five newer postings. One of them is about an incident in the sewers that nearly cost a sewage worker his life. A couple are looking for work on a ship. One is looking for a worker just to like help unload the ships. And the last one talks about a attack that happened into the slums on the east side of the city, from one of the sewer grates.
There's a lot of stuff with the sewer. I'm curious. So which one pays better, or like what is like? Does any of them jump out to me, or like does anything? Like,
as you look at the ones that for work on the ship, it's about 4 silver a day. No room or board provided. The tavern worker or the worker on the docks, it's about 8 silver a day. They do provide a room. The ones in the sewers, it's upon completion, it's 10 gold. Both the one in the sewer that nearly cost the investigation of the one that almost cost a sewer worker's life, and then also the attack in the slums that cost 4 people their lives and seem to originate out of a sewer grate. Those are both 10 gold upon completion.
Oh, there's something living down there, ain't there? Okay. I feel like I will go with whatever. I need just money, and I need to set up shop. So I'm gonna go with the one that is the most beneficial, the one with the board and room board.
So the harbor worker.
Yeah.
All right. So you follow the signs. You follow the posting to a very, very large building to the west side of the harbor. And as you pass, you almost get hit a couple times by these big carts that are on these big tracks. You see them going out onto the larger docks. All the larger docks have tracks set into them, and you see one ship being unloaded. They're big live tanks of what you can only assume is fish, filled with water, wooden tanks. They get set on these big flat carts with posts in the corners that then wheel around, and you kind of follow the flow of traffic. You inquire to a couple people, and they direct you to this very, very large building. It covers about 2 blocks on one edge and about 6 on the other edge. So it's a very, very big building that all of these carts go into at the end. After asking around a couple times, you see a man yelling orders to the workers, telling them to kind of where to put them, and you see a crane lifting them up to set them on shelves, and big pulleys that have animals attached to the end, because these are big tanks of full of water. So they get put up for storage, and this whole building is mostly made of stone. It's got a thatched roof. And it's deceptively cold inside. You walk in and you suddenly see a little bit of breath in front of you, and it's 65, 70 degrees outside. So it's not cold outside. Noticeably colder as you step in. But it's on the threshold. It gets cold. There's no spill out.
Magic.
You walk in.
For realsies.
You walk in and you see the guy yelling orders. He kind of looks at you. What are you doing in here? You a worker here?
Well, not yet. I don't know. No. No.
What are you doing in here then?
Looking to find whoever's in charge.
Well, that would be me. What can I do for you?
Well, I saw on the job post or the bounty posted board or whatever that you were in need of a couple hands ready to work or whatever.
That's true enough. 8 silver a day with a room. Does that sound good?
Sounds about fair.
All right. I'll have Jason tell you. I'll have Jason lay it out. Jason, and he yells to a guy that comes down. He was on a little observing platform. He comes.
Jason Statham just does backflips.
He walks down. He walks down these stairs. He walks up. Yeah, what's up? Can you show this guy? What's your name?
Vala.
Vala. Jason. Vala. Can you show him what he'd be doing if he worked here? Sure thing. Come with me. Over the next 2-ish hours, he shows you kind of where all the different stations. So there's the guy that operates the crane to get the crates off the ships, and then the person that pushes it, and the person that runs the crane inside. There's the person that takes inventory. He shows you all these positions, and at the end of the 2 hours, he's going so, which one do you think you'd pick?
Which one would I be better at?
With your strength, you'd probably be better at either running the crane or pushing carts.
Okay. Either one of those, really.
All right. Well, currently we need someone pushing the carts, so that's where we'll put you. Come back. We'll have you meet Lucy. She'll run you through the hiring process, and then it's not much. It's one paper.
Lucy.
You literally just
She's HR.
yeah, basically.
It's HR.
You put your signature on the.
We'll talk to Lucy.
You see like a 90-year-old woman.
My mother was HR, and my grandmother was HR. That's just what we came to be known as.
In most jobs, their last name was derived from their trade.
Yeah.
Boom. Nailed it.
So you he takes you back. He has you meet Lucy. She's a little bit on the heavier side of a woman. She just sits there really all day, and she gets all the inventory. She puts all of it out.
She has a southern accent, doesn't she? That's what I'm picturing.
They're all Irish. Haven't we
I
caught
know.
on?
I know, but I mean, but she's HR.
She's South Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, it's coming.
Okay.
You know, you meet her. She's nice, as far as you can tell. She gives you the paper. You sign it. It's literally just like one signature that says, "I will."
Line.
You just draw one line.
Well, I don't think I've ever written anything in my life.
I mean, you have an average intelligence, so I mean that would suggest that you
Okay,
know
fine.
how to read and write
Oh, dang. Okay.
passively.
I mean, I've lived in the mountains my whole life, but okay.
You sign a scrawly like
it's just
Vala, like VALLA.
Age.
Okay, cool. We'll go with that. You forget to put the H on
Oh
because
gosh, dang it! I don't know how to spell my own name.
you lived in the mountains. You
grief.
said it yourself.
All right.
She takes it. Thank you. She puts it in like these big drawers. She has these just stack of files. She starts a new one, sticks your name in there. It's just one paper right now. See you back tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So I start tomorrow. Awesome.
Yep. At this point, it's probably coming on to 4:35-ish. You finish with your tasks. Do you want to go and check the board, or do you want to just stay in your room?
Yeah, I'll check the board.
Check the board.
How it works here.
All right. You see all the same things, but in the last, minus the harbor worker job, looks like they were only looking for a few positions, and what's his butt filled the last one.
What's his butt?
So
They were looking for a few positions, and then they found me, and they're like, "Yeah, he's got it."
He's dead.
Yeah.
You do see the two pertaining to the sewers, and the two, and the rest just looking for the other workers.
So one
that's
was
about it.
investigating the sewers, like the guy that almost died, and then the other was...
The other one was finding out the cause of the attack that came from the sewers. It was a small, what appears to be a localized raid. From what you can gather off the sign, there was a few assailants that came out of the sewers. 4 people died. 1 house was burned. Several more houses were damaged just due to the hodgepodge, like pushed together nature of the slums on the east side.
And then the other was just something that almost killed a worker.
Yeah, he was down there by himself, and he encountered on the paper it says hordes of large beasts.
So crocodile, probably.
Or rats.
Probably.
Okay. She copies it down.
Awesome. You walk back into the tavern. What else? What are you guys doing?
I figure I gotta go to and get like settled, or go to find where I'm staying or whatever, and like drop off my gear because I don't need to be carrying it around.
Right. So your room, the entire place where you are going to work tomorrow is devoted to cold storage of fish and just sea creatures that are going to be sold to local restaurants or breweries to serve up. And you are, they refer you to, Lucy herself refers you to a local pub, and she. It's, that man. The local businesses provide him with most of his with most of his business. We refer our new workers there till they find a house or a place they can settle inside the city. The Tubby Duck.
Oh,
That's the local inn.
awesome.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
You go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep.
go there.
Cool. Behind there, there's a stable for you to put what was his name?
Ghost.
Ghost. You put Ghost and your cart back there, and it's
Tim Flirt. That was your horse's name.
you're you kind of your horse shifts a little bit. Like it's just horse mule seems uncomfortable. With kind of where you put it. You take a moment to comfort it. It kind of gives you a little, but no, don't go. Kind of look.
You gotta be like Arthur Morgan. Just brush the horse down. Build your horse bond. Red Dead, dude. Come on.
Oh my gosh, I knew it was from that, but why'd you do that reference? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so you go inside. Do you inquire about a meal or a drink or anything?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
Where am I? Because
you're at the Tubby Duck.
Okay.
You went across. You stayed with your horse. It's coming on to about 5:30 by the time you do that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it because I'm looking for a room. Well, do I have a room yet? No.
Your room has been provided by Iron Fist Brewing.
Okay.
So the guy doesn't know that, but
Okay.
you know it. So, and then you know
That's
that
all that matters.
you know that your room has been provided by I think that's what it did. I think it was Callahan Fishing Company.
Callahan Auto Parts. Too young. It's from Tommy Boy.
Oh.
No, Roarin' Fishing Company.
Roaring. Yes.
No, it's like ROARIN apostrophe
That
Fishing
sounds
Company.
the same. It's cool.
Do you happen to have my backstory in your folder?
I do.
You're back. Yeah.
I wrote it like a month ago, and all of a sudden I was like, I don't remember so many things.
I wrote this last night, so
Yeah,
it's like
I
really fresh in my
I was
brain.
like reading it in the car, and my mom offered to drive, and I was like, yes. I was reading what you
I
guys
wrote
think.
mine at 2 a.m.
That's fun.
Because I think I finished it. What time did I send it to you?
3:10. Good lord, buddy. Yeah. So do you do the same? Just go and inquire for your room that is provided by Rowan Fishing Company.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You walk through the back, and you come into the main area, and you see the you guys see each other again. You see the large, beefy Goliath you'd seen at the gate come through the front door with all of his pack
Hella
on,
gains, bro.
and you see the human that's a little bit shorter than you. You see the.
Oh, I thought you was the gate, huh?
And you both see the fat man behind the counter. He's kind of, now that you get a look at him, he's kind of balding on the top. He's a little sweaty. He's got a little bit of a longer nose.
Constantly.
just constantly.
Just like
a little bit.
just glistening.
Glistening.
Donut.
And he has glazed.
It's an accurate description. That's really good.
He's got just soft hands, and he doesn't look like he's had a day in the fields in his entire life. He just looks like a soft man.
Honestly, that is that is a really good description. I'm appalled, but yes.
Thank you.
Nice job.
You both walk in, and he does a little. like a little side look at both of you. Well, step up. Who's first?
I'll let Mr. go first if he wants.
Okay. Thank you.
Well,
It's
what can I do for you?
Tactical advantage. You
don't
gave
think
me
I
your
have
back, so I
it.
can kill you now.
Got him. That's rough. And then, are you still up? Did you just go up to your room, or did you grab your meal and stay in the?
Down there.
Down there.
I'm standing in the bottom floor.
You're in the safest place.
Just
I'm already
you
no
guys-
fool.
You're like
you guys,
a sturdy beam. You're just like, yeah, this is probably safe.
You guys walked up and you both saw the questionable lean to one side. It's like arrow straight first floor, the second half. That's a little iffy. And there's like a couple like logs coming out into the street, probably about 15 feet from the base of the building, like leaning up against it.
Just to
They're big
support.
logs.
Big? This big? No. They need to be like freaking this big.
But they look like they've been pounded into the ground. It looks like this is a lasting repair.
Intentionally, or because more weight is slowly being
Hard to tell. So you're sitting under the sturdiest beam you could find, the newest looking,
weight bearing.
Yeah, weight bearing.
All my knowledge in this.
You got you got like a weight bearing
what
and then
Amari
like a
knows.
beam going up the side. You're like, I'm gonna sit right here under these nice two big beams. You're eating.
When your survival dexterity thing kicks in. Your
Your
survival modifier.
I'm trained in survival.
Oh yeah, you've got your hearty beef stew. I mean, it's average. There's got a lot of beef in it, but it's a little bit thinner on the gravy side.
Yeah.
Just came with a hunk of bread, and he offered you an ale for 2 extra copper to tack on.
I can handle that.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna
So-
stay here, I better be plastered.
Maybe it'll untilt the
When you start tilting, you're like, oh no, that's pretty straight. Yeah. I'm good.
Oh my
I'm good
gosh,
now.
you guys. You see the awkward standoff, and then the human is let
It was
to go
really, it was
first.
hella awkward.
Super awkward. You walk up. What can I get for you tonight? He does it's the counter, and he like leans on it. And he like leans forward. Please don't lean back.
Well, I'm looking for a room. I just got hired on working with. Working with iron.
Doesn't even know what it works.
work there.
Wow.
If we
He's
knew
like,
if I knew the name of
and both of us like, jeez,
Yeah.
we say the same thing.
it was Albrecht, right? Anyway,
Albrecht.
And
All right.
and he said that he would. He
Is
hired
Baldur
me
here
on
too?
and offered me a room.
I'm the only one who understands that reference. Yeah.
No, I
you
understand
hear
it.
that.
No, I know.
I'm coming. It's
I
coming.
know.
Don't worry.
Okay, good.
Don't worry. All right. Repeat customer with all of his new recruits. Yeah. That'll probably just come out your paycheck or it'll pay me directly. So, pick a room. We got numbers.
Going through puberty.
Again.
We got numbers
Constantly.
A1 through 13 and B1 through 13. Take a pick.
What's B?
A7.
A7.
That's so specific.
All right.
Bingo.
All right.
Yahtzee.
He like disappears behind the counter. Chink, ding. He flips you a key. It's an really old fashioned, really worn like brass key, and it has a little tag that's super worn like leather. You can barely make out the elaborate A, and then just this super awkward like just slash mark. And he's like, here you go. I'll be on your left. Up when you go upstairs, left, down. You'll find it.
Thank you.
All right. You want a meal or anything? Meal, ale?
I'll take a meal.
All right. Well, we got 2 things going. We got our beef stew and we got our, what else?
Amari didn't get a choice.
Which probably means that the beef stew is probably the only thing edible, honestly.
That's true.
And he hollers back into the kitchen. What was our other thing? Out from the back says, shepherd's pie.
That sounds way better than. Yeah.
And he kind of
Basically just the beef stew with mashed potatoes.
Honestly, yes.
This super painfully thin, like 16, 17-year-old kid with like
Anorexic giraffe.
peach fuzz, like crooked teeth, like this weird, like long hair that kind of flops to one side.
Give him a hella deep voice, though. Hella deep. Come on.
No.
Do it.
No, you wanted Southern. Here it comes. Okay. Yeah, we got a shepherd's pie here, and he kind of like goes like this, and it looks a good 3 or 4 days old. It's kind of crusty on the top. It goes like this, and some yellow juice dribbles out the edge of the the edge of the pan.
How did this duckling ever get tubby?
No, honestly. It's just named after the patron, honestly.
24/7, they'd be skinny as crap.
Well, you know it's a bad sign when the cook is skinny.
Right?
Yeah. He can't even eat his own meals.
I will go with the beef stew.
The guy, he's like, all right, thank you. He turns to you, and behind him, the cook goes, and he like turns around and goes back into the kitchen. You hear a clunk and a and he goes, oh no, and like, what'd you do?
No.
I dropped the shepherd's pie.
I dropped it.
Probably better for everyone.
He made air quotes too behind his back. I dropped the shepherd's pie.
But about a minute and a half later, a tankard of ale, and a big bowl of beef stew with a piece of bread in it comes out. 7 copper.
Okay. So I only have like 15 gold pieces. What is the...
So 15 gold pieces, so there's 10 silver pieces to a gold piece, and there's 100 copper pieces to a gold piece.
Dude, I'm hella rich.
100 to a gold
Is
piece.
it
100 copper.
100 copper to a gold, and then 10 silver to a gold.
That sounds...
So then it's then how much is it copper to silver? Would it be 10?
10 copper to 1 silver.
Does that sound right?
There's a chart. I always struggle.
Or is it 5 silver to a gold? It might be 5 silver to a gold.
Let's just find our magical chart.
Because then that would make more sense. Because then you could have.
well-
So then, because if it's
It'd be like
100
120s and
copper
100s.
into a gold, then it'd be 20 copper into a silver. If it's 5 copper to a gold, to 1 gold. You know the exchange. The
5
breakdown,
silver to a gold.
Right.
You said 5 copper to a gold.
Well, you knew what I meant. Yeah, 5 silver to a gold, which would mean that there would be 20 copper
Remember where
to 1 silver.
So you get your stew. Yeah,
I have way more money than I thought.
We'll figure that conversion. It was 7 copper.
Okay.
And then he turns to you. Oh, you're a big beefy fella. What can I get for you?
Look who's talking.
He's a good foot shorter than you.
Well, I'd hope so.
He's short.
Yeah.
He once again leans forward, but he's like looking up. He looks like a small child.
I'm like ducking because there's like okay.
No, but the beams are like an inch above your head.
So if I like stand on my tiptoes, I like
You're just like dong dong.
Okay.
You're whacking your head.
awesome. Okay.
That should be close to where it is. Should be at the beginning of the equipment.
Just like the light part.
Dude, I didn't know because you have 15 gold when you started. I only have 10.
I had 5.
Because of his background.
You had 5?
It's bad.
How did I get so
the
rich?
The inheritor only gets 5?
I don't remember what I did, but yes, I
Oh.
started.
Awesome.
Alright, so...
Well, I guess it makes sense because any money that I would have gotten, I would never spend.
So 100 gold, 10 silver, 1 copper. So
You're
copper,
reading that backwards? 100 copper, 10 silver, 1 gold?
Well, that's the chart they have. So basically, copper is 1/10 silver.
So it's like a dime
So
to a dollar.
So
Because
a gold is
technically
a dollar.
electrum's in between them, but nobody uses them.
Right. Okay.
So a gold is a dollar. What? A silver is a dime.
then
And a copper's a penny? Yeah.
And
So
then
ones,
platinum
tens,
is
and $100
1,000.
bills.
Oh, I want a platinum.
Ones, tens, and hundreds.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, write that down so I don't forget.
So you would now have.
Do not tell it, nope.
You'd now have. You start with 15, so you now have 14 gold, 9 silver, and 3 copper. I think if it costs you 7 copper for the meal.
Okay. Makes sense.
What can I get for you, big man?
I need a room to stay in for a while. I just got a job over at the harbor there, working out there, and then I'll need something to eat.
All right. You're talking about Roaring Fishing Company?
That'd be the one.
All right. Well, once again, this should just probably come out of your paycheck. Which room would you prefer?
One on the straighter end of the building, like the one that's actually structurally sound.
Well, the entire second floor is leaning.
Okay, so
Pick a number.
wait, so I want to be on the first or like the lower ones, right? Obviously.
A, 1 through 6, 8 through 13. B,
I don't understand B. Like what?
2
Are they different sides of a
through
hallway?
13.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're
So
all
like
upstairs.
They're all on the
Hallway.
same floor.
He
Yeah.
steps
it's
out.
all on the second floor. It's just there's like Hall A and Hall B.
Okay, well, which side is the building?
So like,
leaning?
is the building leaning towards B or is it leaning?
No.
towards
It's
A?
leaning. So if this is A and B, it's just leaning this way.
right? Okay, so I want to be
forward.
on that side
All right.
Furthest
Would you like
from-
Hall
so that
A
I can
or B?
counterbalance the weight of the building with my own weight because I weigh a lot.
Would you like hallway A or B?
B. I'll take B.
All right.
The one on the end. So whether that be 1 or 13 or whichever.
Someone already took B1.
Oh God! Of course they did.
You took B1, right?
You didn't give me a choice. You just gave me.
Yeah,
I'm fine with.
honestly.
Cool.
She doesn't care.
You got room B1. Just write down.
B1.
You could do A1.
Then I'll do A1 then if she's gonna.
All
do
right.
A1.
He goes down. Dunk.
Are there windows in our rooms? Out of
You don't know.
I'm asking
You
you.
haven't seen yet.
I'm asking the guy who owns the place.
Amari's asking you. Does my room have a window?
Yes, all the rooms have one window. It's like maybe this.
You just
big.
open it though, and it's just like facing another building. It's like 2 feet, and you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, all your rooms have a window. It's not super huge, but it is a window you might be able to wriggle out of if you needed to. I guess.
I'm the only one who have to
I'm pretty
wriggle.
narrow.
Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I'm the only one
that's
who have to
true.
wriggle,
That's very true.
or just like my shoulder just like. I can't even like stick my shoulder out the window.
All right. Well, you said you needed something to drink, to eat and drink.
Yeah. I'll take the edibles. I'll take the beef stew. But just the beef part of it. Like, I'll just take the meat. Can you just like strain out the other stuff? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Amari just kind of like looks up from her meal, and then just like goes back.
She's disappointed.
Yes.
Okay.
You catch a vague glimpse of the silver-haired woman you'd seen earlier look up at the Goliath.
Racist.
Go back to eating.
Racist. No.
Where do you sit, by the way?
Me?
Yeah, as it stands, you walk in the door, there's the staircase in front of you, and there's the bar, and there's like 8 tables.
I'm gonna sit at one of the tables.
Well, obvious.
Awesome. Closer to the door, farther from the door?
Farther from the door.
Farther from the door. Awesome. Let's see here. Well, I think we can do that. Rafe!
Rafe?
Yeah, what can I do for you? And he kind of like leans out. He's a giraffe. He comes out the window side headways, and he like
anorexic giraffe.
he like comes out side head, falls out like, what's up? Can we strain the gravy off the beef stew?
He's actually doing it. Oh my god.
Yeah, I think we can. You want? Sure. He kind of goes back in, but he forgets to like turn his head. Oh. Turns his head, goes back inside. You hear some shifting and clanking and things, and he kind of sticks his arm out, and there's just this bowl of like like warm, so like steaming beef chunks with like a little bit of gravy in the bottom and like a big hunk of bread on the side and a fork instead of a spoon. He kind of just like holds it out.
Hells yeah.
And he takes it and sets it in front of you, and then
Oh, I'm gonna need 2 of
And
those
there's a-
things, man. If I'm gonna drink, if
want
I'm gonna
two?
eat this, yeah, I want to.
all right,
Give
he
me two.
fills you a second one, and they're big. They're like probably they're big.
I'm gonna down the first one before I even leave the table.
Just right
Like,
there.
Just right there at
You're
the
just
bar.
drinking it. Yeah,
I'm just gonna. And then we're gonna walk over to the table. All right.
Now that's 9 copper.
Okay, yeah. I'll give you 9 copper then.
Okay, so now you have 9.
9 gold.
You have just write it here. This is gold. This is silver. And this is copper. So you have 9 gold, 9 copper, or 9 silver. I'm sorry, and then 1 copper.
1 copper.
All right, thank you for your business.
Dope.
And he just goes back to whatever he's doing. Where you
I'm
sit?
gonna sit close to the back.
Close to the
side
back.
on the. If I can put my back to a wall or something, so I can see the door.
Okay. Yeah, there's
And also
really
keep both of them. In
there's
front of me.
4 people, or there's 5 people in the tavern right now. These 2, you, the bartender, and the kitchen dude.
This
This is a happening place.
Yeah, there's a happening place.
Hells yeah.
It's only around
Which is
6
funny because
o'clock.
Everyone's recommended it.
It's only around 6 o'clock, so people haven't quite got off work yet. And
Minute 6 o'clock, 30 people just files in.
as you finish your, you sit down and you guys finish eating. You guys are just staring at each other.
I'm eating.
You're eating.
No.
All right.
I guess I could stare. I could just stare at Josh while I'm just shoveling food into my
You're
mouth.
not actually staring at him. You're just like looking straight forward. Thinking
just
about nothing.
dead-
but it
dead-eyed,
happens to be
just-
right in your line of sight.
Just
So as
like,
far as Joshua knows, you're staring at her. You're just like, this is disgusting.
This is gross. I hope I don't die.
and then
Please
every
don't
once in a while,
die.
I just like shiver as I'm eating.
Everybody
the
make a
food.
Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Um,
That might not be a bad idea.
so
I'm
Constitution is
already
your ability to
one.
eat a
I'm
bad
already
tomato.
one.
and
I'm already 1 ale in, so I'm probably better off than most of you guys right now.
so you guys are about done eating when you hear a dong, dong.
I'm guessing it's a bell.
It's a really, really loud bell. It sounds like
Wisdom
it's
check.
maybe it's like two buildings out. It's really loud where you guys are. You hear a couple bam, bam, bam thumps on the ceiling, which would be the floor of their room. Then you hear just make it stop through one of the floorboards, and it does a couple end rattles and it stops, and then you hear outside a growing hubbub of voices. And about 30 seconds later, there's a crash as the door swings open, and about 8 or 10 looks like harbor workers and sailors come in, and they like flood the guy at the front.
My people have arrived.
And they all kind of just crowd around him, and they're like, "Hey, me first, me first!" They're all like yelling at him, like, "Serve me first! I want food first!" They all end up getting their food. They pretty much cluster around like 3 different tables.
Awesome.
They all cram themselves around it. It looks like they're all acquaintances. They've all known each other for a little while. They all start eating, and one guy breaks out a set of dice. One guy breaks out a set of cards. About 10 minutes in, they're all into their second or third ale, depending on kind of who you look for. What are you all doing now that there's 20
Am I finished
people in
eating?
the bar?
Tell me I'm finished.
About the time they all start to sit down, you finish eating.
Awesome.
Um,
I'm just gonna sip. I'm gonna nurse my second ale.
you're-
I'm gonna take
Chuck
this
one,
one.
nurse
This
the
one.
other.
This one's mine. This one. I'm gonna try to make this one last.
and when you taste the ale, it's best way I can describe it is piss water. It's not good. It's really
Is it strong?
It's strong.
Good.
It's strong.
That's
Like,
all
you-
it needs
You
to
take
be.
a whiff, you go,
There's one purpose.
Yeah, just getting wasted.
My kind of drink.
And you drink it and you're like, oh, you cough a little bit because you're used to like a much smoother, nicer, like
city folk, man.
like nice
Craft beer.
This
yeah,
is
nice craft beer.
what is this,
like,
Coors?
This stuff is garbage.
You're just like, where's my Blue Moon or whatever, or not your dad's root beer or whatever. This stuff's basically soda with alcohol.
So
Okay.
it's terrible ale. Yeah.
I'm just like, you gonna finish that?
You are in a corner. You said you were closer to the door, right?
Close to the back.
Closer to the back. So you're in between these two, and they've all taken.
We're like staring at each other.
They've all taken like the 3 or 4 tables on the closest to the door. They're like right inside the door on the right. You're in the middle, kind of just looking at the bar. The lovely sweaty man just kind of standing there, just kind of doing his thing. And then there's the silver-haired woman and the pale Goliath on either side of you.
It's my natural skin tone.
I'm describing it.
Yeah. Just say white. You don't have to say color. That's a slur where I come from.
Oh, good to know. Keep using it. So, got anything else you guys want to do?
What cards are they playing? Or what dice? Do I recognize any of the games?
You do. The dice game. You don't know what it's called, but you've seen it played a couple times, and you've played a couple rounds of it. It's a really simple. You try and you roll dice, and you get 2 rerolls after the first hand, and then you try and stack up a higher number than the other person, and you bet on your hand as you go.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
I see if they'll let me join.
So you kind of it's really not that hard. You just kind of like turn your chair, and there's a guy sitting there. Like
You just do this little
right
number?
up against you.
Sup, yo.
You do a little
Sup, yo.
flip. You turn around, and there's a
Deal me in, boys.
rather thin, like Weasley looking like dock worker. He's got like loose clothes, kind of shabby, longer hair, looks a little unkept. He's got a little bit of scruff. Yeah, so you turn around and there's the guy sitting there, and he's actually in the middle of a hand. He's got his 3 dice there. He's got a 4, a 7, and a 9. 4, 7, and a 7. And he's got 3 silver in the pot. There's 6 silver in the pot right now.
Steep.
Yeah. And he's like doing a little like right across the table. He's doing a little like.
Doesn't have a very good poker face.
Throws in like 10 more copper.
What you got? What you got? Show 'em.
The other guy like pushes his 3 dice forward. That's a 4, a 4, and a 7. They're like, ha! Ha! I win! He like takes the silver.
He's
like,
a gremlin.
I win. I'll see you boys later.
and he like gets up and he sticks him in his pocket and he like
Did we just
runs
watch
out.
Smeagol play freaking...
And his 3 dice are left set perfectly right there. And the guy across the table just shoves his dice forward.
Sneak. He's cheating. He's won the last 5 nights in a row. I'll find out how he does it.
He stands up. He moves to the other table. There's 2 sets of dice just in the middle of the table.
Murder.
What's the buy-in?
Well, I don't know if we can afford it. It's a silver in, and at least 10 copper in the pot to begin with.
All right. So
3 or 4 of the sailors around the table kind of gave you a skeptical look, seeing how you're just in like you're not wearing armor or
They're
swords. Right?
sexist. That's why.
that's okay. I also look very unusual.
Oh, okay.
Yes, silver hair.
Okay, why does she look unusual? Like, what's... Okay, first of all, what's
have
up with
they-
the
have they
eyes?
gotten
Can we
close?
look
Yeah,
at
I
the
mean, you
eyes?
guys are close enough. I
Yeah.
have the colors of my eyes are an opaque lavender.
Whoa.
And then my hair is silver.
Oh, that's cool, actually.
So they
Opaque? I'm gonna look up opaque right now.
it's
That
the
looks
flatter
so
tone.
cool.
It's not like it's not shiny.
It's
or,
kind of almost like cloudy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized I don't know how to spell opaque. Dang. Okay. Not doing that.
OPKQUE. Yeah, OPKQUE.
QU.
OPA. I'm sorry.
OPK.
First time.
And then
I don't know. Kate, you and I both looked at each other like,
I don't know.
OPA
Because I heard
QA.
the
Let's
K.
look at the nail polish.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, it is spelled K, but
Right?
I don't know what's more sad though, the fact that I just went along with it and typed it into just like OPK. That sounds right. Yeah. All right. Continue.
So they all, 3 or 4 of the sailors kind of look at you. You're not wearing your armor sword. I asked you this already.
Correct.
You're
I'm
just
just
in
kind
your-
of in. It's kind of like not super long. It's lightweight because it's been warmish. And
All right. You just sit down, and you take.
the tattoo on my
Is it
arm
like this?
Yeah, kind of
Which-
a little bit lighter to the one that's here. I don't know if you can see next to the
Just tap it. Wait, this one? Oh, cool.
Which tattoo is that?
It's the.
Oh, bro, what?
Oh, I think actually I have a really bad one. Yeah,
I
it's
want
kind of
that
an
hat,
arrow coming down
honestly.
with the wings on it, surrounded by the celestial stars.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So you guys see her sit down, and her back's she's against the wall because it kind of shuffled around, and so
are we
her
still staring at each other?
her tattoo is clearly visible to you.
Obviously, we're not because we're
You
looking at
are-
her now.
Yeah, you guys kind of look over.
First of all, I was never staring at you. I was just looking in your direction.
So take 3d8.
3d8.
I definitely have 58s, no worries. Oh, wait, I'm grabbing 4s. What am I doing?
Well done.
I have enough D8s. I'm just not smart enough.
That's a 4 again.
Well, because I had one there. Oh, you took it.
I took it. There you go.
That's
There
why
you go. I can get
can't
my
find
metal one
it. I was like, where'd my other D8 go? And you said it was 10 copper.
10 copper first pot. So the guy across from you, he's not super strong looking. He looks like he might be like a just a deckhand.
Was
on
she
a
about to
boat.
get into a fight?
I'm
No.
playing back.
Oh, okay. I was like,
He kind of pulls the dice. It seems like these are just a communal pot of dice, so that no one can stack them. So he takes them and he
I kind of,
just do the little thing. He just kind of.
I just, for feeling. I'm trying to tell if I can tell if there was anything sketchy about him. As I play, I just watch for anything.
suspicious.
Yeah.
Make a. That's hard.
For
telling if the dice are weighted, would that be a investigation or perception? Because you're not actively looking at them.
investigation.
You're just kind of feeling. You're actively trying to discern. I'll go investigation.
I was gonna say investigation makes more sense.
awesome.
You not like very proficient?
That was a journey.
That was me.
Dang, you rolled
Yeah,
a
no,
Might as well
I
just
know.
use the
Oh, don't bring it
table.
to me.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
I know. This isn't. I love this.
Because you've
thing,
rolled
but-
rolled twice on that, and that's
And I got a
happened
17
twice.
and a 20 there.
Yeah.
But then, no, we'll play.
Yeah.
We'll play.
I'll use this to hide.
So you, he rolls his first dice, and then some people look at him, look over his shoulder, just kind of, and they like shift over, trying to get a view. They're very much into this game.
Okay.
So he takes his,
Josh literally just.
Just did the like.
he kind of
Appreciate
goes
it.
like this. He's very hunched over. He digs in his coin purse, pulls out 5 copper.
This is intense.
Amari puts in 7.
Oh.
Puts in 2 more.
So you call,
So if you have a low one, you can re-roll it. You can re-roll you can re-roll all of them,
Okay.
but you get to re-roll 2 times after your first one.
Okay. So we're up to
So we're up to, let's see here,
10.
10 was the buy-in at the beginning,
Right.
Right.
I already
and
counted
then
that
you
in.
both put in 7. So total, you're at 34 copper in the middle.
Oh. Okay.
24.
'Cause it's just-
34, because it was 10
It's
each.
just shoot. Oh, 10 each.
It was 10 each, and then they both put in 7.
Yeah, so 10's the buy-in, right? I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
7 is what That's
We
what
both
I've
put in
done.
7 is 14.
Yeah.
It's 34.
I'll erase this then. Right.
Yeah.
Yep. So he takes.
Put in 10 and 7, and she put in 10 and 7.
You see his eyes narrow slightly.
15 plus 2,
And then-
15 make 30, and then you add 4.
Watch.
Oh, you do that
watch
too?
closely.
Yeah.
That's how I used to.
Are you
do
rerolling
when
it?
I was like, had to
Then
do
there's
it.
like the people so we line it up. The 7 plus 7 is a 4. I'm like, no, you go. No.
You see his eye.
Although I
contact.
actually do that, I make it to where like numbers that I'm like proficient in, like some numbers
So another round
I'm
of
better
betting?
at multiplying and adding than others.
Or
Like
do we-
sometimes like
do we-
okay,
Yeah, you can
So
bet
if-
more.
so
This
if,
will be the last round of betting.
All right.
like if I back in the day when I used to have to multiply by like 6s, I would actually
I'll add
multiply the number by 5,
another
then add
5
6.
copper.
Another 5 copper.
Because I was way better. I was way faster at doing it with 5, and then you just add like
that
another
5 copper, puts it
number.
All right.
Then you're adding.
Right.
So okay, if it was like
All right.
if it was
4 times 6.
then you would
Do 4 times 5, which is 20.
and then add another 4.
Kind of narrows his eyes at you.
And I also like that.
She just kind of reaches in the middle and takes the
Takes the pot. So
And I'm just in the
what
back,
is
I'm like,
that?
oh,
That's,
So
30. That's 44 copper then, total.
yeah.
Dang.
So you have now 44 copper plus to add to whatever you had.
Yeah, I gotta take a little bit out to math it correctly.
Yep. So, but you want to play another round, or you want to just leave it at that?
I'm gonna play one more.
Play one more. All right. He gets up. It seems he might have cleaned out what his gambling stash was for the night. He gets up and walks over to where the angry guy was that walked over. He was mad at the little weaselly guy. And he walks over to the guy and they sit down. They both kind of look at you, trying to gauge you, and then they just go back to their drinks. Another guy slides in. He's like, all right.
Is this the Weasley guy?
No, it's a different guy.
Yeah, okay.
They all look the same. It's fine.
Okay. So
And then right as he's about to cast his dice, there's a tap on his shoulder. He looks up, and there's the Weasley guy right there, and his hey.
God, is he on like crack? Like honestly.
All right, sets him in his hand.
All right. Pretty lady, let's play.
Oh God.
she is watching his every move.
All right, that'd be a perception check.
This dude is like creepy
Over here,
AF, bro.
I have no idea what's going on.
No, I'm fully invested into this.
21.
I'm a little
Oh yeah, you just blew him out of the water. So.
You see as he goes. You see him go up to his mouth, and you see a transfer at his mouth, and then he goes.
All right.
Do I recognize kind of the motion at all?
You recognize the motion as a transfer of dice that he then casts, and you see that perception roll. You see a slight bulge right back here.
Okay.
So you both put in your 10 copper at the beginning. He kind of he does his little thing, and he's
Ladies first.
All right.
You betting anything?
Good. I'll put in 5.
5. All right.
he puts in 5 to match you, and just kind of he sits there all like kind of just really just annoyingly confident and really like in his confined space, just kind of hunched there looking at you.
And then he ducks down behind the table.
That's what he was doing before he came out.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what he's doing in the
In
bathroom.
between rounds.
You just see him like.
I'll do another 5.
All right.
He puts in 5. You gonna reroll or anything?
No.
All right, well, I'm good. Might
To
as well
anyone else at the table who's lost to this man?
Oh snap!
You see a small little brow furrow from the man, and he casts a little look around, and all right, he casts a little look around, and you see the big man stand up and like tower over the small Weasley
The big man.
The big man. You see now he's got on a little bit more armor, and he's got long hair that's pulled back. He's got a long scar going from his
When did this
earlobe
dude walk in?
down to the chin. He was the guy the Weasley man beat at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Who was very unhappy.
Right,
A long,
The angry guy.
The angry
guy.
big man.
The angry guy.
Okay.
Long scar going from his ear to his chin, and 2 short swords. I lost to him. Why? And then around the table, 3 or 4 more guys put up their hand and kind of do the little like, what is going on here? Like looking at you with the like, don't you move? What do you have to say? Type of a thing.
What's the value of knowing why you've lost?
Whoa, hold on.
One of the guys.
What'd you just say?
so
What
you
is
guys-
the value of
Knowing how you've lost.
So you
snap,
you guys
son.
you see
I'm intrigued.
the right. You see the woman sit down, cast her dice, and sit there, and then like 4 or 5 guys look directly at her. One of them stand up over the small man, and they're now talking. You hear her say. Hear her say that. I'm not even gonna try. What is the value of knowing how you've lost? There we go. And you hear her say that, and immediately the big man, 2 gold sit on the table. Everyone else puts silver on the table, and they look at you, very, very intrigued. So now there's 6 silver and 2 gold on the table, and they're
She
just
just
still
like
looking at
tripled
you.
her money in one
It's
game.
like really relatively close, right? The table's not a big one.
No,
Can I like shift
it's
into a position to like throw my axe if something goes down? Like, honestly.
yeah. So if you're standing there, there's like table. You were way in the back, so
Yeah.
you'd have to shift and walk up past
Okay,
him.
I'm gonna finish my ale just really quickly.
You're just down your ale,
and I'm gonna move closer.
and you're gonna move
to
closer.
hear better.
Alright. So you move closer. The big man looks at you
I'm basically standing in like next to his table.
next to his table.
Like,
so
sitting
you're
really
about 2
close.
tables away
Yeah.
from where this is happening. And the big man looks at you, and immediately looks back at the woman. It's maybe a little bigger than this, and the tables are actually about as close as this. They're pretty jammed in there.
Okay, but he's like pretty much within arm's length of me.
The little guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Weasel.
within 5 feet of you probably.
Okay. I like finish my ale and I just like reach and with one hand I grab his throat and the other I put my hand in his mouth to where I saw the guy.
Oh dang!
Okay, make a this would be a grapple probably.
So athletics.
Athletics check, yeah.
15.
15.
It's better than a little boy.
You
dang.
you sneak your hand out. And he somehow like just slips just to the side.
Remember, crack.
Roll an attack. Are you proficient with unarmed strikes?
No.
Okay, so just roll it and add your strength modifier.
Am I?
Oh, that's not great. 6 on
6.
that one.
Yeah, your hand just goes right by his throat, and then your hand that was going for his mouth just kind of skates off his like not very clean scruff, and you come away with like this little like streak of.
Dang.
And he kind of dodges to the side, and then right after that, the big meaty hand of the big guy goes right around the back of his neck, and you see the guy's hand like come around like right here, and then just squeeze.
Spit it out.
Oh.
What? What are you talking about?
Unless you swallowed the dice you're cheating with.
And what if he did? Just like hit him on the back of the head.
The big man, I'm sure, could gut you to find out the truth, so you might as well spit it out now.
Out comes the dice, and it skitters across the table, just wet
gross.
with saliva.
Oh,
just
God.
a nice like streak, and it sits there.
It doesn't even roll; it just slides.
And it matches the set that sat there, but the dice sitting there that he rolled match. I didn't cheat.
So why are you... Who carries dice in their mouth?
Ah, touche. What?
Bad habit.
Oh, bad habit.
I don't think it takes a genius to know that you're full of crap.
Oh, got him.
The big man behind him motions to 2 men at the table. We'll settle this outside. Keeps hold of the guy and walks outside and hangs a left. Hangs a right. I'm sorry.
Hangs him.
I mean, there are some convenient beams that are leading this way.
No, don't add to
No.
that.
Half the building just rips off.
He weighs like
Room 13
130
no longer
pounds,
exists.
guys.
Oh my god.
And walks around and hangs a right outside the door. And as he leaves, that's yours, and walks out.
Does she keep the pot too?
Yeah, she keeps the pot and the money.
Son.
So I got 2
So you
gold
got
from
2
the
gold
one
from
guy,
that. You got 5 silver from the other guys.
Oh my god.
and then another 20
And
copper
then
from him because
you-
it was
you
the
put
10
in-
pot, and then we each put 5s again.
Yeah.
Before I
Yeah, so you
That
got
was
15 from
smart.
it.
Okay. You should have just went all in. Like, come
thought
on.
about it.
He's like all in.
Yep.
Dang, son.
I can go a little longer without work.
Yep.
I'm gonna ask Josh if he's gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna go to my room.
It's up to it.
Hey, you gonna finish that?
No.
Awesome. I'm gonna down his beer and then go upstairs to my room.
All right. You
I'm gonna look at him kind of worried.
Dude, I'm not even phased. Like honestly.
No, he's worried because you like the piss ale. he's questioning your taste,
He's a brewer. Like
not your constitution.
Oh no. Oh no.
Intelligence check, not constitution.
Because I've technically
Dude,
also
I'm
seen
about-
you down 2 already.
I'm about
so-
as smart as I am charismatic. Okay. Like honestly.
So you're in the process of you pulling your coins in. You just hear a voice behind you. You turn around. Guy downs an ale, walks upstairs. You see the brewer kind of
The
go.
creaking of the stairs is worrisome.
Watch the ones with the mark.
You just see me about to step and just like step further.
You see the brewer as he kind of leaves. He goes. He just this like pitying look. And then the human is sitting there. Are you doing anything in particular?
I'm just sitting there.
Just
I
sitting.
was watching the commotion.
You were watching the commotion. All right. So there is a human looking at you with interest now that you've.
Ooh.
What?
I don't know. You were watching.
Get them digits, son.
You were watching the commotion. So you see a human that was watching the commotion. Yeah. So you went to your room.
Yeah.
You just dunking out.
I'm gonna turn in early.
All right. All right.
So, I mean, I gotta be at the harbor at like dark 30. You know.
Yep. You go to the A.
It's actually really fun.
A1.
It was A1.
You go to A1, and through your window you hear the whimpering. You hear a whimpering. You poke your head out, and you just see a guy laying there, kind of like one of his hands is kind of like twisted sideways.
Gosh.
And he's laying there like just cradling it, like rocking back and forth, like right below your window.
Shut up.
Shut up! Through the wash basin at him. Yeah. So you turn in. Are either you guys doing anything in particular?
Nope. I just kind of with that. I'm like, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I just
And
get up.
they're all dead silent,
drop
and they
the
just kind of
mic and
like
walk
watch
out.
you go. And then as your foot
And then for some
hits the
reason,
last stair, that you just hear just hubbub. So like there's just a clatter of voices after you step up and hang a right into your room.
Gossips.
Yeah, pretty much. You're looking for the town gossips, find the stairs.
Find the pub.
Yeah, for real, the pub.
Loose lips.
Loose lips indeed.
And if they're not loose yet, just wait 10 minutes.
Sink damn ships all the time. Taylor Swift, anybody?
Oh my god.
Oh boy. And then you going to bed, or are you going to stay there for the while? You go to bed? All right.
At like 2 a.m. after he finishes his play, right?
Yeah. So you guys go to
character's
bed.
not a player.
No.
And you you go through your routines. You go to sleep. both of you guys could step up
Me, guys?
towards the door. Yeah.
Oh snap, son!
Whispers.
I feel
Whispers?
obligated to let you know I am recording, so like I'm gonna find out eventually. You want me to pause it?
Yes, please.
Okay, fine, here, let me pause it. You know, like an interview.
Oh, fun. Sleep doesn't come easily to you tonight. Usually you can take
After
a
I
brain off.
drink like 2 ales,
Yeah.
2.5.
Yeah, sleep. You're restless. You eventually find sleep, but it's not a restful sleep. You have the vision of seeing your father's broken body when it was brought back to the village. You have the vision of learning from your uncle to be a ranger. You have the memory of your uncle saying, "Go prove yourself," and leaving into the world. You bartered passage with a traveling group south. Had a couple fights along the way, and eventually ended up in this city. But as you came into the city, you felt something was off. You felt like people weren't as necessarily happy as they should be, or as chatty as they should be. And especially as you got into the harbor area, you felt just an oppressive, just presence that didn't feel right. As you watched the altercation between the woman and the rest of your other the person you met at the gate or had seen at the gate, when the big man grabbed the weasel, you felt a push, almost a physical push on your chest, as though your chest was kind of being compressed. You remember feeling that same feeling when your father was brought back to the tribe, and when you were living with your uncle. You remember feeling that a couple times. And the one night you stayed in the city of Halishholm in Scandia, you remember feeling that one, that oppressive, almost compressing of the chest cavity. You don't quite know how to fit it all together, but you feel not right, and as you jerk awake as your visions and your dream comes to you, witnessing it and you feel it, the feeling in your chest. You snap awake. You're in your room. You got a hand axe in your hand, just like, what's going on? And you can't help but feel as though you're being watched or hunted.
Dope.
And then you lay back, fall asleep.
Oh, okay. And I was like, okay, cool. Then I went to sleep.
Okay, you guys are good.
Dope.
All right.
Dude, this is really, you're doing a nice job.
I try.
So yeah, it's really interesting to see that difference.
All right, so all three of you wake up.
That's good.
Yeah.
Plot twist!
What have you did? Re-roll your character.
Day one, death.
You wake up, Vala. You wake up and you don't hear the whimpering anymore from below your window.
A lot of whimpering.
Well, because the dude.
Dead?
No, I know. If he
Yeah.
was still whimpering
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah. You rise early, and you both go to your respective jobs. Do you rise early or do you sleep in a little bit?
No, I'm up after that, and
Okay.
I'm writing in my journal.
Okay.
Oh, she's in.
Oh, after you woke up in the night. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you all wake up. You guys go to your work. It's pretty standard as far as you've worked in a brewery before. It's all standard. You're just learning kind of how they do things here, and then you're learning how to run a crane. Basically, you're learning how to run the crane.
Awesome.
And then you're learning where the different types of fish are stored and sort of where things are all stored.
What the kind of different fishes are?
What kind of... Yeah. So, do you have anything specific you're doing throughout the day?
I will head back to the bounty board and look at the sewer jobs again.
Sewer jobs. All right.
Specifically, the raid.
The raid? Mm-hmm. Okay. You grab that paper off the board and you walk inside and there's a guard sitting there. He looks to be maybe like just past like maybe 25-ish. He's sitting there, he's writing some stuff down. He looks up. Oh, hi. Kind of, you see him like look at your hair and look at your eyes and kind of look at you, what you're wearing. And like, what can I do for you?
Answering this notice.
Oh.
I'm guessing I want to talk to somebody that's not you.
Oh,
About
dang. Just straight up.
Woo! It's gonna be so much fun, you guys.
Oh, my word.
Okay. All right. He sets it down and kind of and walks into the back.
What a freaking G.
Garrick, are you up? And out from the back. Yes, I'm up.
What time
And-
is it? Isn't it like...
Well, you would have gone down at like 8 or 9.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I relatively like start today, but not like unkind.
Right, like 5 a.m.
Wake up!
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I'm pretty used to traveling and knowing how to catch people in a better
Yeah.
mood.
In a better mood.
Yeah.
Good skill to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you walk
Ain't
in
my
there about
first
8.
rodeo.
Out from the back. Yes, I'm up. And coming out from the back, you see not a large man, but a tall man that looks, it's built proportionally, and he has a sword in one hand and his chest piece in the other. It looks like he's just starting to like put his armor on. Mm-hmm. He pokes his head out. What can I do for you?
As I mentioned to your friend there, I'm answering the notice about the sewer.
Oh, yes. Which one?
The raids.
The raids. He walks over, he grabs the paper, sets down his stuff. Yes, quite an unfortunate business. Do you need let's see here. Proof that you found the raiders would be to recover at least one of the heads of the fallen. They
Of the townsfolk.
they took trophies. Yes.
Alright.
Dang.
Trophies. Any other details about what it might be?
I can have someone escort you to where they came out of the sewers, or where we presume they came out of the sewers. There's not a whole lot to go on. It was
Estimated numbers?
estimated
Anyone else
numbers.
answer this?
No one has tried yet. Estimated numbers anywhere between 6 and 10.
This will be fun.
Wow. She's like John Wick. But like female John Wick.
Oh man, no, that's like Rogue and Fighter put together. Yeah.
Man, I should have just called my character John Wick. That would have been fun.
Anywhere
No,
between
Jonathan Wick.
Jonathan Wick. Oh boy.
John.
Yeah, I'm estimated anywhere between 6 and 10. One of my guards was wounded in the assault. He was doing a patrol and he was jumped. He nearly died. Now, mind you, this is different than the sewer worker nearly losing his life.
Is it?
It is. Would you care for an escort to where the attack took place?
Yes, please.
Wilson!
Yeah, manners.
And the guy that talked to you earlier.
The guy that you told off.
Yeah, the guy that you told off comes out from the back and, yes, sir? Would you please, escort Miss, I forgot to get your name.
Amari.
Amari. Shakes your hand. Would you please escort Miss Amari to where the sewer attack took place? Yes, sir, right away. He kind of grabs a spear off the rack and walks outside. Right this way. And he leads you east along the harbor and then north up towards the city wall. And as you go deeper, it goes from 10-foot wide streets or alleys to 5-foot wide streets, and then it gets to really narrow, so you're almost brushing against the houses, and the houses get progressively shorter and just more dilapidated as you go deeper towards the wall, and then they start to be broken down. And
So the poor end of town.
definitely the more poor end of town, and it would seem as though the harbor side is just covered with these nice buildings that kind of put up a face, and so you get further in, and you keep seeing these sewer grates. They're decent sized, made out of metal, set in these streets. There's a stone ring around them, and you walk up, you find the sewer grate where it is, and around it there's a burned building to the east side of the hole, and then it looks like it's spread north along a couple of buildings before it was managed to be put out. But the roofs of about 6 or 7 buildings are just taken off, and then one building is completely taken to the ground, and another building is kind of half collapsed, and that's really all you can see above ground right now. But you see some dark brown stains in the ground where you assume that's where a few townsfolk met their end, and that is where the guard says, "Will you be able to find your way back?"
Yes. Do you know anything about this attack?
Not really. I was in the guardhouse when it happened. Hold on. Freaking crap.
Pulls out cell phone.
Pulls out cell phone. What's our organization
Flip
called
through his
again?
contacts.
The Skursgard are not necessarily well, I am new, so a new member to the Skursgard, and I was not personally here on patrol. I'm learning the more office side of things before I'm put on patrol, but
Would never guess.
but I can
It's Josh as a guard.
help you with for real. I could help you with finding the man that was attacked and survived, but the report said small. The report of the man said small, dark, lizard-like folk.
Lizard-like.
The man said they had spears and slings. So I don't know if that helps you at all in your investigation or analysis, but.
Were any of the villagers taken alive, or were all of them killed?
3 are still missing. It's a family unit: a father, a husband, a wife, and a son. But we are doing our best. We have men scouring the closer parts of the sewers in groups of 3s and 4s, so they don't meet their end. Hopefully, but
It's a creative way of saying die.
When do they go do their searching?
they
Is it a constant patrol in the evening?
no,
today?
they well, a group went down about 45 minutes ago. They went down this hole, and they were going south towards the. Well, 3 groups actually went down. One was going south in toward the harbor. The other one was going east. The other one was going west. No one's gone north yet because those tunnels were walled off, and new tunnels were made that did not connect to the outside of the city when the wall was built. The wall was built through the existing tunnels, and new sewers were made so that people could not go from the poor end of the city to the richer end of the city via the sewers.
That's smart.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Well, if you need anything, just give a shout. And
Who am I shouting for?
well, we have regular patrols of.
No, I meant
Skursgard.
what's your name?
Oh, Wilson.
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 Sounds like, is he kind of roundish and pale?
Does have a handprint on his
Right.
face? Gosh, you guys. That's freaking awesome.
Thank you, Wilson.
Yes. No, you're welcome, Miss Amari.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I will leave you to it.
You can just call me Amari.
Amari.
You can drop this.
Oh, okay. And he walks back down the way he came, or the way you guys came.
I just kind of look around and try to see if I can see any signs of if it was just people they were taking, or if they were, if that was their primary, like, does it seem like there's signs of other things being pulled from houses? Just kind of investigating the area to pick up any.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Awesome. Modify your 0.
Natural
That's
20.
Dang.
Nice.
Campaign.
Dang.
Yeah. All right. Holy crap! You had to roll a natural 20 then. All right.
You literally know everything.
Yeah. The friggin' Sam going, tell me everything.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Sammy.
Yes. So, in looking on the ground, there are some drag marks coming from the 2 houses that were mostly burned. So it seems like those were the origin of the fire, and it spread from there. It looks to be as though a box or a chest was dragged and then dumped into the sewer. And there's the scrape marks of there's these odd parallel lines. There's 3 sets of parallel lines coming from the house. Just really, really shallow divots in the dirt that go to the sewer. There's a lot of tracks. And like I said, the brown stains. There's 6 of them in their localized areas, but some are bigger than others, and so you're not sure if more than 6 townsfolk died there. And as you know, you look around and you gather anywhere between 6 and 10, so somewhere around where they estimated it at, maybe a few more. But it's really, really hard to tell with all of the tracks. There's just a big jump.
Size estimate on foot.
Size estimate on foot. No bigger than like what a halfling would be. Like a bigger halfling would be. So you estimate it to be a smaller sized creature that did all of this. But you do not see the remnants of a torch in the building. You don't see any remnants of a lantern thrown in there. But you do see one set of tracks that's a little bigger and not quite as lizard-like. It looks more like a boot that was bigger and went through there.
So one human or humanoid.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. And with that natural 20, I think we're going to end it.